So recently, Behavior has released a developer update. After a series of feedback from the 6.1.0 PTB, Behavior has decided to tweak a couple things that the community has given feedback on in order to address a lot of the community's concerns with specific problems with the next update. So when you play a match of Dead by Daylight, you earn blood points within 4 categories for both Survivor and Killer. For Survivor, it's Objectives, Survival, Altruism, and Boldness. For Killer, it's Brutality, Deviousness, Hunter, and Sacrifice. And the max amount of blood points you can earn per category is 8,000 blood points. BHVR is upping this to 10,000, which allows you to earn a total of 40,000 blood points maximum per match in comparison to the 32,000 you used to be able to earn. Something that I recommend that you guys start doing is saving your cakes until the update goes live. In the current system, the max amount of blood points you can get with a Bloody Party Streamers is 64,000 blood points per match. Now with a Bloody Party Streamers, you can earn an utmost of 80,000 blood points per match. 4 Bloody Party Streamers, 128,000 blood points. In the new system, 160,000 blood points. That's an extra 32,000 blood points with 4 party streamers. In the new Prestige system, a lot of people were finding it difficult to find higher rarity add-ons when they keep prestiging over and over and over again. From level 1 to the Prestige node, there's going to be more of an increased chance of rare items and very rare items. Unlike before, where you'd have an extreme surplus of common add-ons every single time that you prestige. So in the PTB, prestiging used to cost 50,000 blood points. This year has changed the cost of the prestige nodes to 20,000 blood points, so that you could prestige after playing 1 match instead of having to play 2. Also, Behavior is raising the blood point cap from 1 million to 2 million. Finally, we have needed a blood point cap raise for the longest time. Something in the PTB that was really strong was also the endurance stats effect, where a lot of players would try to get utmost of 5 hits per match. Give me the stack. 2, 3, 1 more, 4, oh my god, 5 hits, oh insane, where a lot of players were enabled to get an utmost of 5 hit per chase due to the new endurance status effects. So Behavior is changing it so that once you have the endurance status effect already applied, you cannot have another endurance status effect applied once again. You will go down if you get hit once again, unless you mend. Let's say I get hit, I get borrowed time. Then I use Dead Hard. If I get hit from the Dead Hard, I will go down. The endurance effect will not stack. But if I get hit, I use borrowed time, I mend during the chase, then use Dead Hard, I won't go down. I'll go down on my 5th hit, but effectively I'm forced to mend. There is an exception to this rule though with Medal of Man. If I get hit, I use borrowed time, and I get hit from with Medal of Man, I will not go down because Medal of Man does not count as a status effect. Medal of Man completely prevents you from going into the dying state. And effectively, you can get a 4-hit down chase still by using Medal of Man. In the new update, an endurance hit cannot precede another endurance hit if you're already in the deep wound status effect. BHR is also changing Spine Chill. It now activates when the killer has a clear line of sight to you. It also has an additional effect where Spine Chill's icon will light up in correlation to how strong the killer's terror radius is to you. And Behavior realizes that Spine Chill is usually used for accessibility for people who are deaf or hard of hearing. Behavior wants to make it clear that they want to create a more permanent solution for those who have these disabilities, such that it's not tied to a perk, so that people who are deaf and hard of hearing aren't forced to use Spine Chill in order to play Dead by Daylight normally. So Dead Hard now grants the endurance test effect when activated, causing you to dash. The duration of Dead Hard on the PTB was 1 second, and now the BHR has changed it to 0.5 seconds. So the duration for Dead Hard in the PTB was 1 second to gain endurance. Now BHR has lowered that to 0.5 seconds. They thought the PTB's version was too lenient, and we're likely going to see Dead Hard only really used by people who can anticipate when the killer is going to hit them, rather than just relying on a long window. In the future, Dead Hard is also going to get an updated animation for its new effect. Off the Record now grants endurance in addition to its existing effects. Off the Record in the PTB was being used as a free escape in endgame, so Behavior has nerfed Off the Record so that it deactivates once the exit gates are powered, once all 5 generators are done. So it cannot be used as an 80-second borrowed time, basically guaranteeing the last survivor to escaping. In the PTB version of Overcharge, the regression rate would grow from 100% to 400% over the span of 30 seconds. And when stacked with Call of Brine, you get an utmost of a 500% regression rate on generators. So Behavior's changed it so that the generator starts regressing at 75% speed and increases to 200% speed over the course of 30 seconds. With these new numbers, Overcharge becomes faster than default regression after only 12 seconds of regression. And Overcharge can still be combined with Call of Brine to get a maximum of a 300% regression rate. The only way I could see this perk getting a lot of value is when you run Overcharge and Call of Brine together. Creator is also changing Botany Knowledge. Botany Knowledge increases their healing speed far more than before, but no longer provides medkit efficiency. And during the PTB, Botany Knowledge was seen as a little bit too powerful with medkits. So now, Botany Knowledge will receive a 20% efficiency penalty when used with medkits, causing medkits to run out faster when you use it with Botany Knowledge. Distortion prevents your ore from being revealed to the killer and can now be recharged by staying inside the killer's terror radius. As a nice quality of life change, you'll now get an audio cue whenever a token is consumed. It's a nice little small detail to make Distortion cleaner. Iron Will now reduces your grunts of pain by 75% rather than making you silent, and can no longer use while being exhausted. With a great deal of variation between grunts of pain between every single survivor, this caused Iron Will to be less useful on certain survivors that are extremely loud. In a future update, Behavior is going to be looking at every single survivor's grunt of pain volumes to ensure that each survivor will be able to make full use out of the new Iron Will. Something that's huge that comes from this is that Ace is usually known as a survivor that has built-in Iron Will. He barely makes any noises when he's injured, so there's a high chance that his grunts of pain will be even louder and more vocal, while characters who have really loud grunts like Jane will have a more default lower grunting noise. There'll likely be a base volume level for each survivor's grunts of pain, such that playing one survivor doesn't give an advantage over the other when it comes to being injured. Inner Focus is getting a small tweak. Currently, it allows survivors to see scratch marks of other survivors within 32 meters. Behavior is now completely removing the range requirement entirely to allow you to see scratch marks from a basically unlimited range. This is enormous. So if a survivor is 200 meters away from me and they're running, I'll be able to see their scratch marks from that far away. There's also some more visual changes, since a lot of the community wasn't happy with Perk Charms. When you reach Prestige 7, 8, and 9, the community saw these Perk Charms as too vibrant and a bit too much. The Behavior has changed Perk Charms so that they're a little bit cleaner with a golden border and the tier 3 perk color across the board. If you don't know, reaching Prestige 7, 8, and 9 will unlock each of the 3 teachables from every character in charm form. Within the PTB, a lot of the community wasn't happy with the look of these charms because they were overly saturated and a little bit too much. Now they have a more updated look with a golden trim border and a Prestige 3 color palette to make them look nicer. So for the Prestige reward, the previous effect was a golden bubble effect that frankly looked like Plague puked on the portraits, and a lot of the community was not happy with this effect. Behaviors changed it so that there are red scratch marks that appear behind the survivor now, for those of which that you've prestige pre-mid chapter update, and I'll be honest with you, it looks way cleaner. Additionally, you can also disable these effects in the option menu if you want to. So with the prestige being capped at 100, they're also changing the way that the prestige symbols look so that they look a little bit cleaner. They've added a gold trim to all the prestige icons, and it looks a little bit more uniform and less cartoonish, more like the Dead by Daylight style. So these are all the changes from the July 2022 developer update. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and let me know what you guys think about the new changes in the patch notes, and hope to see you guys in the next one.